Hi, my name is Christy Stroud, and I'm a publicist at Tyndale House Publishers, the world's largest privately held Christian publisher. Today I'm going to share a little bit about my career journey and how I've seen God's hand clearly guiding me throughout my career path. I graduated from Taylor University with a BA in English writing and a minor in mass communications journalism. Growing up, I'd always been told that I was good at writing, and so I just decided from an early age that I wanted to pursue English, and I deliberately took writing classes in high school in order to help develop my writing skills and to prepare me for that career path. At one point, I wanted to write for a magazine, but then as I went through college, I decided I just wanted to do something that involved writing. Around my junior year of college, I became very interested in overseas missions. And at Taylor, we have a week called World Opportunities Week, where different missions organizations come to the school and they set up booths, and you can go around and talk to them and learn just about different opportunities to serve within that organization. So I went and spoke with different organizations during that week, and I learned about a lot of different writing opportunities that a lot of them have overseas. So my senior year of college, I was contacted by the U.S. Center for World Missions, and they asked me if I would want to come to work for them and to write for their magazine. I would have to move out to Pasadena, California, and I would also have to raise support, though, because it's still a missions organization, and I would have to enlist donors to support me even though I was still living stateside. I was really excited about the opportunity, but when I told my parents about it, they weren't quite as enthusiastic. They were concerned about me trying to raise support from people even though I was going to be living in the U.S., and they just didn't think it was the best opportunity for me. After that conversation, I was frustrated because I felt like my parents just didn't really understand what it means to be a missionary and just to trust God to provide for your needs. But I was also confused because I valued their opinion, but I wanted to get a job and doing something that I love. But I ended up not taking the job, and I graduated in 2007 without a job lined up. And I should have known that God would have other plans for me. But I moved back home and spent the summer serving my college fellowship at my home church. Despite not working, I actually stayed quite busy during the summer. All I did was post my resume online and maybe do some job hunting at night, but that was basically all I did. I knew I should have been a little more proactive in my job search, but I was just also enjoying having some time off. And it was discouraging because a lot of places that I was looking at require at least 1 year of experience or more for an entry-level position, and I had 0 years of experience, which is why now I tell a lot of college students that they should get an internship, at least to have some kind of experience to go into a job with. So I wouldn't necessarily say that my lack of worry about my job situation was because I trusted God with the situation. If anything, God showed me that He can work in spite of whatever action or inaction I may take. So at the beginning of August that year, I randomly got a call from the communications manager at the Chicago Tribune, the daily newspaper here, saying that he saw my resume online and was wondering if I'd be interested in a freelance opportunity. I had listed on my resume that I had done some freelance writing, even though I wasn't really doing it at the time, but I took a class in it, and that was obviously something that caught his attention. So I said I was interested, and he asked me to send some writing samples, and after that I didn't really think much of it. I went on a technology-free retreat with the college group at our church, and when I got back home on Sunday night, I checked my email, and I found an email from the Tribune asking me if I would want to come in for an interview on Monday. And I started panicking because there was no way that I would be prepared for a Monday interview on Sunday night. But thankfully, they were gracious and allowed me to come in on Tuesday instead. And of course, the one weekend that I go without technology is the weekend I end up getting a job interview. But to make a long story short, I interviewed for a freelance communications specialist position at the Tribune because their current communications specialist was leaving and they needed someone to temporarily fill in while she was gone. On my way home from the interview, I got a call and an offer for the job. I hadn't even gotten home yet, and I gladly took it because I needed something, and this was just God providing, even though I wasn't even looking for a job. I'd only taken one public relations class in college, and through this 6 months job experience, I learned so much about PR and how corporate communications works. And that eventually led me to start seeking out careers in public relations because I was looking for a full-time job while I was still at the Tribune because I knew it was only temporary. The Tribune job was only supposed to be for 3 months, but God blessed me with an amazing boss there who just continually kept extending my time there and month by month, and eventually he finally told me that I could just stay there until I found a full-time position. And this was even after they'd already hired someone to fill the position that I was temporarily filling. And God's timing is just always perfect because right after that, I got a call from Tyndale asking me if I wanted to come in for an interview for a publicity assistant position that I had applied for. I went through 2 rounds of interviews at Tyndale, and there were 3 candidates applying for my position, but I ended up getting the job. Later, I found out from my team that my experience at the Chicago Tribune helped me stand out and set me apart from the other candidates. And just through that, I was reminded that God's plan is better than my own, because if I had gone to California after college, I wouldn't have worked at the Tribune, and that wouldn't have been on my resume, and then I wouldn't have gotten my position at Tyndale because of it. I also wouldn't have been in Chicago to meet the man that would eventually become my husband. And I might have still had great opportunities if I'd moved, but God knew my needs better than I did and led me to places and positions that brought me to where I am today. So 5.5 years later, I'm still working at Tyndale. I'm still in the public relations department, but now as a publicist. And I work with an amazing team of people and a great group of authors. I still get to use my writing skills, and I also get paid to read books, which is something that I love doing. I never even knew book publicists existed. So if you ever see an author on the radio or on TV, or if you see a book review somewhere, know that there's a publicist behind that. That didn't just get there. So only God could have led me to a job like this, because I never even knew that this job existed. I'm not sure how long I'll stay at Tyndale, because I didn't actually expect to stay there for 5 years or more. But here I am. But I know that I still need to continually seek God's guidance and trust Him to lead me in my career. I don't know where you are in your career. Maybe you're going to be graduating soon, or you're looking for a job, or you're just stuck in a job that you really don't like. But I want to encourage you by reminding you that God does have a plan for your life. And a lot of times, in fact most of the time, His plan looks a lot different from the plans that we have for our lives. And God's are usually way better. Continue to work and be present wherever God has placed you right now, and always be open to whatever opportunities He may bring your way. If you want to connect with me, you can get in touch on Twitter at Christy W. Stroud, or on my blog at christystroud.com. I'd be happy to connect with you and hear from you, and I wish you the best in your career journey.